Now, one of the UK's biggest department stores, House of Fraser, has written to its landlords in an attempt to slash its rent bill. Sky News has learned that the store contacted a number of the owners of its 59 UK outlets to ask for substantial rent reductions. So this is an indication that trading is down for our biggest department store. Joining me to talk about this is a retail analyst and entrepreneur, Kate Hardcastle. Kate, really good to see you this afternoon. So what does it tell us that House of Fraser is asking its landlords to reduce their rents?
They have large department stores. They have a lot of foothold in the high street, in the out-of-town shopping centres and the shopping parks that they are in, and that means it's a lot of cost in terms of rent and rates. And obviously we know that now £1 in every £6 is being spent online. That's a big overhead to be taken on when retail, particularly in the middle market, is very reliant on discount. So the department store model, particularly in the middle market, is really struggling, and only those that have been innovative or have something niche are the ones that will make it through.
So is the model archaic, would you say? And if so, what does it need to do to survive?
If you think about what a department store used to do, it would bring the best products together with the best brands and give us the opportunity to browse lots of different things under one roof. And I can't actually think of a better description than retail on the internet. That's exactly what the internet does for us. Within seconds, however, we can be searching down into the detail on one product that we want. We don't have that concern that we're going to go over budget because we might get distracted by another product and start picking up other things. It's a very cold, hard process, online shopping, and therefore we are tending to use that more for the non-food goods particularly. And I think whilst there are successes within the department store model, perhaps some of the more luxurious brands like Selfridges who've got something a bit more niche, or John Lewis who are very value committed, I think that the other ones that have perhaps an older model, they've not updated the store, and the brands have lost faith with consumers that have found other brands and alternatives, are really showing signs of wear and tear.
Yeah, and on the point of people getting on the internet and making their purchases using that, I mean, what is House of Fraser's online presence like, and how does it compare to some of its competitors?
I can remember sitting in London in a hotel room for a discussion with many retailers and almost being laughed out of the room when we talked about the internet and how much it would take for the industry 15 years ago. So perhaps some of them weren't forward planning enough, and perhaps some of them haven't realised the potential of online. But online is still a place for conversation. It's still a place for consumers to engage with retailers in different ways. So if you look at a brand like ASOS, they've made champions of their consumers. They have a constant dialogue, engagement with them. And unfortunately, brands like House of Fraser department store, they've been slow on the uptake, and it's just really a catalogue online. It doesn't really engage and make the cut through. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to be in online store, if you're going to be a high street traditional retail store, you've got to be at the discount level, selling brilliant prices, or you've got to offer something different. If not, you're just blending into a vanilla marketplace.
Yeah, I've seen one report that suggested that this is a similar type of problem that faced BHS before it was forced to close back in 2016. Can you see a resemblance there, or is it too early to suggest?
I think brands like House of Fraser, and we heard the Debenhams result, which were always also challenged this week, are brands that have tried to do things. They're not just still in the water. They've tried to innovate, but these are big beasts of organisations. They take a lot of turning round and a lot of investment. And when you've 50, 60 stores, that's quite a cost. And I just think some of the stores perhaps looking jaded, and they've passed that point. So whilst I wouldn't liken them too much to BHS, which I think almost gave up on itself a few years before it went under, I think these are brands that are citing things like beauty bars and in-store gyms as their future. Well, that's a great idea, and there's certainly ways in which social retail is growing, but unfortunately everyone else has got the same plan. So unless you're right at the cutting edge of that, it's going to be tough times ahead.
Indeed. Kate, looks like you're in a beautiful part of the country. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.